I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Our Fund Foundation prepares a new wave of updates as Capital Campaign nears launch. The Our Fund Foundation has officially purchased its first permanent headquarters at 2520 North Dixie Highway in Wilton Manors, ushering in what leaders call a transformational new chapter. In its latest quarterly report, the foundation says the move strengthens its mission to make South Florida the most livable and thriving place in the country for LGBTQ plus people. President and CEO David Jobin put it simply, quote, "This new home isn't just about bricks and walls. It's about creating a space that reflects who we are. This building gives us the stability to plan boldly and the visibility to inspire others to join us," end quote. At 2,200 square feet, the new building will serve as a center for philanthropy, a hub for nonprofit collaboration, and a highly visible symbol of LGBTQ strength along one of Broward County's busiest corridors. As the executive director of our fund told Hotspots Happening Out's Al Ferguson, quote, "Let's be honest, the world we're watching right now is increasingly hostile to LGBTQ people. Not every community has something like the Our Fund Foundation, and that's why we're doubling down here. Our new Wilton Manors headquarters isn't just office space, it's a home base where our community can show up, be together, and make things happen," end quote. I was writing a list of all the people that I know that our fund has helped, and I ended up writing so many that I would waste too much time telling you. I mean, from SunServe to Lesbian Thespians to Trans Inclusive Group to Skirt to the Pride Center to Unity Coalition. I can go on and on. The organization, Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, our fund, and David Jobin has been there to help all these organizations. I think it was like maybe less than a year ago when drastic changes came and budget cuts started cutting everything, mostly the arts, mostly theater, mostly Gay Men's Chorus kind of stuff. Right. And our fund foundation came in and said, this is not going to happen. Let me figure out what we can do. Let's allocate some money to the organizations that need it the most, and they started writing checks. I mean, like, this is what they do over there. And so I, for one, was kind of surprised that they didn't have their own space already, But again, sometimes you take care of others and you don't take care of you. 100%. And that's what I felt happened there over at our fund. So congratulations on the new office space. It's not just office space. It's a freaking statement, at a time when the world and we need something like this to look at and go, yes, we're doing what we need to do. Let's keep on fighting.
I mean, they're proof of, when the government fails us, grassroots helps us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. You take care of others before you take care of yourself. So now they're putting themselves first for 5 seconds, and making a stand. They're showing that they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. And
so that way they can keep, the good work going. Same thing. I can't quantify
so many.
I've sat down and talked with them, and they're always opening. I called them and said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you. Being a new organization, let's talk." And they opened their doors and said, "Let's talk." And we, laid a plan, and I said, "Thank you. I'll see you later." And it really, again, it shows how grassroots and local community helps each other.
Yeah.
And, I can't say enough about them.
Yeah, they are just one of our fantastic foundations here, and that we tap into for not just for money, but for resources and for information too. Mm-hmm. They are really, we have a program with them ourselves. It's a legacy giving program that we help through the chorus as well. So, we created that program just so that, people that have passed on, they leave a small amount, for our organization through the Our Fund. So, it works so wonderfully for us, and it gives people, the option to, support us even when they're no longer here.
Yes, what a beautiful thing that is, One last thing about David Jobin. He's an incredible human.
Right.
Like, period, right? He's always representing. You see him at all the events. I don't know how that man does it. He looks at me and goes, "Hey, I look at your social media to see what's going on." I'm like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "No, you don't. You get it, but you're VIP. I'm on the VIP. All right?" Like,
I'm surprised David Jobin's on social media. He's so busy.
In what time? I am blessed to have some really close friends and family of mine who are leaders in their own capacity and lead their own nonprofits. And if you ever ask them, who do you look up to? Who is your mentor? each one of these three people always say David Jobin, right? So that means to me that they're able to call him when any kind of problem or any kind of like, hey, what do you think about this? Can you point me in the right direction? I mean, that is worth millions right there.
Especially to our organization. David has a background in being the executive director for the Gay Men's Chorus in Washington. So he has a fundamental idea of how our organization runs. So, you know, we have tapped into him, and Mark has tapped in, you know, asking advice and stuff. So we've created such a wonderful foundation so that, you know, his experience has already affected, you know, South Florida for decades.
As I say, it's more than just money. It's experience and knowledge and the willingness to share it. Because there's so many times that people are knowledgeable and they keep it to themselves and they work in a silo, and he doesn't. He works in a field and allows everybody to come in.
I love that. Well, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.